Hi, I'm Sydney Schoenbeck, and this is the assignment evaluation. So the assignment I'll be evaluating is for my Spanish 102 class, and it was a group skit. The grade I earned was a 93%, and I was satisfied with the grade because I worked really hard on memorizing my lines and making sure that I knew all of them so I wouldn't mess up while I was presenting. And I also worked really hard on creating the script and coming up with my lines and helping my group members come up with their lines, and then translating it all into Spanish because we started out with it in English and then translated it into Spanish. And the grade does reflect my amount of effort because I did work really hard on memorizing the lines, but I could have worked a little harder on pronouncing the words I didn't really know how to pronounce, because there were a few that I still struggled with when I was presenting. So I feel like if I had worked more on the pronunciation that I would have gotten a little better grade, but I am still happy with my grade because I worked hard on memorizing the lines. I prepared for presenting in front of the class by running through my lines multiple times, and my roommate also helped me out. She would say my group members' lines and then I would say my lines, and that really helped a lot. And we did that a few times, and I made sure that at the end of when I was finished with all my homework that I left time, at least 10 to 15 minutes, for me to work on my lines and making sure that I memorized them and knew them before. And my roommate helped me out a lot with that, because I feel her saying other people's lines and me saying my lines, it helped me know when I go, and it also helped me just know my lines in general. And then how I studied was I studied each line one by one, and I wouldn't move on to the next line until I had the previous line memorized perfectly. I would just keep running over the line in my head, and then I'd say it, and then I would move on, and then I'd go back to the previous line and say it all together so that I made sure I remembered the lines I was memorizing before. And I started by writing it out in English, and then we later translated it back into Spanish, or not back into Spanish, but into Spanish. Yeah. And I just studied my lines multiple times. I began working on this assignment a week in advance. We were told on a Monday that we had this assignment coming up, and we started presentations the following Monday, and then we presented Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and my group went on Tuesday. So I started studying on Thursday, because on Thursday was the day that we started writing out our scripts, and then we had a lot of in-class time to do it. So I made sure that I had time for me to go over my lines every night, because then I was working on them so I wouldn't forget when I was presenting in front of the class, because that's happened before in previous years when I've had to present Spanish things. And after we started making our script on Monday or Thursday, I can't remember, but whenever we finished making our script, I had the teacher go over it and make sure everything was correct or just looked okay. And I did feel prepared to complete the assignment because we were given a lot of in-class time to work on it. We were given Thursday and then Monday. Then we had the weekend to work on it. So we were given a lot of time, and then we also were given enough time to study and make sure we know our lines. And we did all have the materials that we needed. We just needed a computer and a translator, and everyone in my group had one, so it made it easy. And we did have all the information we needed because the teacher made sure that we knew what was supposed to be included in the script, what grammar tools and what vocab was supposed to be in it. We learned all of that stuff before we started doing the script, so we were very prepared for what was supposed to be put into the scripts and the information. And I did not forget my lines, which I was very proud of. And I submitted my best work, or I spoke my best work. I did try really hard during my performance to memorize or to remember all my lines and make sure that I could pronounce them to my best ability, because some lines were kind of harder for me to pronounce. And when I was receiving my assignment, I didn't do anything with it just because I was happy with my grade, and she didn't really hand anything back. We were just kind of told our grade unless I just wasn't there for the day. I kind of knew what words were like hard for me to pronounce, so like after I got my grade, I kind of looked back at the words in my own script and I kind of like went over those words just so I could like know them for future reference. And I did not read any of the comments because I don't believe we were given anything back. I know that I was like gone for one of the days, so maybe she gave them back on the day I was gone, but as far as I know, we were not given anything back. So I did not speak with the instructor about it because I was happy with my grade and I didn't really have a problem with it. And I don't think I need to change the way or my specific actions or behaviors because I did do my best work and I made sure that it was like my priority to memorize the lines in time so I wouldn't mess up the script or anything. Okay, thank you.